Hey everybody, good to see you all again. It's been a while. Hopefully you've been healthy and happy and all that good stuff. So today we are going to make a recipe. It's like a vegetarian chicken parmesan. It's called cauliflower parmesan, where you use a big steak of cauliflower in place of the meat, bake it up till it's nice and caramelized and delicious, and then you put a really good marinara sauce on it and some cheese on top and bake that and serve it with a salad with some garlic bread. Really delicious, easy meal to make. So here's the recipe. I'm gonna start putting those in my video now, where it's a two-step recipe. For marinara sauce is the first thing we're gonna make. Get that started, and then we put it all together into the cauliflower parmesan. So hopefully you can pause the video and get that recipe down for you, and we can get started. I did want to tell you that I took the liberty of cutting up and roasting the cauliflower ahead of time, just because you don't really need to watch me roast cauliflower. So that's all been done. So we're gonna go over to the stove and we're gonna get started on the sauce, and while it's simmering, I'll come back and show you how to cut a cauliflower steak. Okay, so take my recipe with me so that I make sure that I'm doing what you're supposed to be doing. Get some heat on underneath the frying pan. Pour in a good glug of olive oil. If you have olive oil, that's great. If you have canola oil, that works just fine too. And we are going to put in some onion and some garlic, which I've already chopped up ahead of time. So get this warmed up a little bit. You want a hot pan so that it starts to sizzle. There's your onion going in. This is a really simple marinara sauce. I mean, sure, you can buy it from the grocery store. You can just buy a jar of spaghetti sauce if you like. That works too. But this is a really easy way to make a nice fresh sauce. And then you control what's in it. Oftentimes the jarred sauces that you buy at the grocery store have got sugar, a couple other things in there that, do you really want that in your sauce? So garlic going in, lots of garlic. I happen to like a lot of garlic. Recipe calls for 4 cloves. So that's what I've put in. If it's too much for you, don't put it in. You can control that. Okay. Super easy sauce. Now, we're going to also put in our canned tomatoes and our oregano and a little bit of chili. So, recipe reads whole tomatoes. I didn't have whole tomatoes. I had stewed tomatoes, so that's what I'm using. Those are going in like that. These ones happen to have some herbs and spices already in them. You can buy them like that. Or you can buy just plain tomatoes. Whatever floats your boat. I like to have these on hand. They're great for so many different recipes. Okay, we're just gonna let this simmer. I'm gonna add in the oregano, a pinch of chili powder, not a lot, just a little bit to give it a little bit of heat. And we're gonna let that simmer for a few minutes. Remember, you wanna taste as you go, because this may need salt to suit your palate. It may need a bit of pepper to suit your palate. Something I like to put into a marinara sauce, which I didn't have set out ahead of time, but I will get now, is a tiny pinch of cinnamon. This is kind of a secret ingredient. If you put a little tiny bit of cinnamon in, it helps cut the acid from the tomatoes, gives it a little bit of natural sweetness instead of adding sugar. So it's a great little tip for you there. So we're just going to let this simmer. We want it to soften, to cook, to thicken, concentrate the flavors. And I'm also going to add some salt. My palate requires salt all the time. And There we go. This will get all a little bit thicker. Cook those tomatoes and onions down a little bit. Be delicious. Okay, there's our marinara sauce simmering away. Now we're going to go back over. So, cauliflower steaks. They're delicious. They can be a bit of a pain depending on your cauliflower. Typically, you need to cut them about an inch thick so that they stay together. So basically, you clean off all the edge and then you cut a nice, big, thick steak like that. So that's what you want it to look like. Doesn't always stay together, let me tell you. If you find your cauliflower is falling apart, or you don't want to use 4 cauliflowers to get 3 steaks, because sometimes that happens, you can totally do this recipe with pieces of cauliflower and just pop it into a casserole dish and you'll get the same amazing flavor. This just looks kind of neat when you put it on a plate, but you have to cut it thick enough, you'll see here, so that these pieces stay together. Sometimes when you get further down into the cauliflower, right, they're still good here, but you can see it's going to start falling apart because there's nothing holding these together. So you can either save this, use it for a different meal, or you can just go ahead, chop the whole thing up and pop it into a casserole dish and just use it as pieces rather than steaks. Really, it's up to you. So there's my steak, my cauliflower steak. It's been roasted, sprinkled with some olive oil, popped in the toaster oven and roasted until it's all easily pierced with a fork or a knife. You can see the knife just goes in nice and easy. Okay, it's still got some substance to it. So that's what we're looking for. Now we're gonna head back over here. We're simmering away. You see it's starting to thicken up. So those tomato juices are evaporating. That also has the benefit of concentrating the flavor. Thickens it and concentrates the flavor. Really, that's the first and foremost thing that you're doing, is concentrating the flavor. I sound like a broken record, don't I? Because you can thicken your sauces. You can always add something to thicken them. So the point of this is to deepen and intensify the flavor that you are aiming for. So this sounded delicious. I'm going to grab a spoon here, do a little bit of tasting. Try not to burn my mouth. That is delicious. So simple. There's a natural sweetness to the tomatoes. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I don't think it needs anything else, but that's important that you taste as you go so that you know how to get it to suit the way you want it to taste. But I'm happy with that, so I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to grab the cauliflower steak. So once I've done that, then we are going to put this delicious sauce right on the cauliflower. You can make it as saucy as you like. Okay, and we sprinkle. This is grated Parmesan. I'm going to put that on top. You can use mozzarella, you can use Asiago, whatever floats your boat. And then this is going to go into the toaster oven. We're going to broil it so that the top gets nice and toasty. And there. Let that sit for a couple of minutes so that the top browns, and boom, you're done. That's a super easy, fast, and fabulous meal that you can make for your family. no meat, or you can serve it as a side dish if you like. That works too. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know how it works out for you. Take care.